Welcome, my good people, to the human spectrum. It's Thanksgiving week coming up. Today is Sunday, the 24th of 2024, and I have some good stuff for you today, so stick around. Um, I got one fixed camera that a guy had over his property, and that's the longer one, so I'm going to get that one out of the way so we can look at the other smaller clips. Nonetheless, uh, all the other clips are absolutely intriguing. And the whole point of this video today is kind of piggybacking off another video that I did about UAPs on the increase. What I'm noticing is that on a global scale, not just in the United States, it's increasing uh, exponentially. So at least I'm noticing that. Whether I'm looking at it through social media, forums. There's a lot of places that I go to look for information on this stuff and research, and man, I gotta tell you, I haven't seen so many videos posted. I mean, I've seen people post 1 or 2 videos a week. This is like 2, 3 videos a day that I'm seeing, and the first video is from last year, but the rest of these are from early November of this month and this year, all the way up to just yesterday and the day before. So, and they're from all over the world. We have Italy, we have Holland, I think the Czech Republic. This is getting out of control. So I wanted to get these videos and clips and show them to you because this is becoming more frequent, more videos. What is this saying to us? I mean, we can say that let's say it's not ours and it's not our adversaries. Let's say it's from another dimension or other planets. Based on what I'm researching, if that was the case, there's quite a lot of different ones. It's not, to me, it looks like it might be more than just 1 or 2 different species or NHI. So we're going to look at this first one where this guy has a pretty good, nice HD camera in his backyard. Shows one during the day, and it'll look kind of familiar to you from seeing it from afar on other videos, but this one, he's got a nice clear view of it, and it does come close to his camera a few times. Almost at one point looks like it's interested in it. So let's take a look at that real quick. So on the first part of that, you can see right away it comes into the scene. It's right there. And it's making moves. It's moving up, down, left, right, with no signs of propulsion. It's not emitting anything. I think there was a little light there, but I'm not sure if that's the light from the sun. But either way, the second part took a little bit, but it came in from, if you're looking at the frame from the right side, and it was more toward dusk. And this was the one that was, I want to say July of 2023. And he put it up literally like yesterday, but he was holding on to it. And I think his name is Paul. So shout out to Paul. That was a great video capture. If you have more, keep sending them. You guys are sending me stuff too, and I appreciate it. So keep sending me those images and videos. All right, so I think on the next one here, we're going to be looking at the one from Costa Rica. This one's going to be interesting. So let's check this one out.
¿Va para abajo o va para arriba o qué? Vea todo el mundo viéndolo.
Me voy a tapar. Es un ovni.
Ay, ¿qué es eso? Y a vuelta y todo.
Now you can see that people actually pulled over on that highway to take photos, pictures, especially this video. I saw at least 2 cars there, maybe 3, but I'm sure there were more lined up. This thing was right in their face, so, and it seemed to be a pretty good size. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 30 feet wide. But really can't tell from that distance, but what he did say in Spanish, for those of you who don't know Spanish, he said it was, dale la vuelta, which means it was making a turn. And he noticed that because it wasn't just going straight, it actually made a curved turn. So again, this one's out of Costa Rica, close to the Caribbean, and this was an attention grabber. I mean, people pulled over on a busy, dangerous highway to take videos of this. So that was interesting. So now this is where, we're starting to see this global uptick in UAP sightings and USO sightings. So it's interesting. So we're going to move on to the next video. Let me know what you think in the comments of that one. At first, I started thinking maybe it was a drone, but because of all the backdrop of the buildings and that spinning radar-looking thing, that's how I concluded that it could possibly be around 30 feet based on how far away it was from their camera. You're talking the size of a car or bigger, so that's just interesting in itself. So yeah, I'm glad I showed you that video, because now we're starting to go international, and like I said, there was so much more. I'm just trying to cram it into this video. So we're just going to move right along into the next one, and see you on the back side. Let's check this one out.
Cazzo. Guarda. Stai registrando? Sì, sto registrando. Oddio. Cavolo è? Oddio, è una cosa incredibile. Vedi, guarda fa. Regista. Il telefono, vedi, ci sta pure tu. Ma guarda. Oddio, assurdo, eh.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right off the bat. This one was from Italy, and right toward the end, you can hear them talking in Italian. I understood maybe one or two words of it. I speak a little Italian. I speak three languages, but Italian I can do better on. But you can hear them talking in Italian about it, and but I didn't get what the whole sentence was. It was blue. Um, we had a little bit of a backdrop because their video was pointing toward that building that was in the forefront. So it's hard to gauge the size, especially at nighttime. But what I can tell you is it had this weird light action going on the lower half of the object, which seemed to be oval, but straight up oval. So that was interesting. So that video was from Italy, and that was, I want to say, November 13th of this year. So here we are. We're still international. So that was an interesting one. The lights on the bottom had me baffled. Could have been a drone, but I didn't hear the sound of the drone, propellers. And then if you try to use the building as a backdrop, the size, it just doesn't fit. But if you think it is, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. So we're going to be moving on to, let's see, we did Costa Rica, we did Italy and the United States. Why don't we go over to what they did? Now, this one in Holland is very interesting. It seems to be doing something similar to what we saw in that Israeli drop down over that holy spot. I don't know if you remember that, where it dropped down from the sky, and before it did, it made this flash. But anyways, this thing kind of flashes, and definitely doesn't look like a drone to me, but you let me know what you think. So let's take a look at this one.
Co przychodź? To jest świerek.
Nee, dat kan nog niet. Hij hangt daar hoelen.
Hoor hem.
Hoe lang hangt hij er al?
Ja. 10 minuten zeker. Wat is dit, Maus? Hoor hem. Wat is dit?
So that one was the Holland video that was taken in Holland, Europe, and definitely not a drone that we are familiar with. There was a house in the forefront, and that thing seemed to be at least maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles away, 10 to 20,000 feet in the air, maybe. So that thing had to be a pretty good size, and those flashes were interesting. I wonder what they mean, what the purpose of the flashes were. And sometimes there was a steady flash, and if you notice, there was like a lens flare. But yeah, that was an interesting one. I've never seen anything like that before. I've seen a few of them where they had lights that would light up brighter and then go dimmer, but this one actually did or performed with like a huge giant LED light. And I don't know. I always tell, my friends that from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth to fiber optics, and even LED lights that we see in our cars now and in our homes and on almost everything now. I always wondered if those were all really man invented, man made, or is some of that a result of reverse engineering? You got to think about it, at least the Wi Fi part of it. I mean, we invented radio, it propagates off the atmosphere, especially ham radio. As long as we have no solar storms. I know man invented that. We invented the CB radio, the ham radio. And a lot of that depends on our atmosphere and heterodyne and all that stuff. So some of you ham techies out there, you know what I'm talking about. Um, but when you talk about Wi-Fi, where you can transfer stuff in terabytes, um, almost the same with Bluetooth, just closer, almost like it would be used inside of a craft. These are just things that I think of. It doesn't mean that it happened. It doesn't mean that it wasn't invented by man. I'm just throwing it out there that if you do a deep rabbit hole think about that for about a cool 5 minutes, it makes you wonder, you know, where did we get these fiber optic things from? These things are supposedly made of very thin glass. Where do we get this Wi-Fi from? Okay, yeah, it could be a radio transmitting to a receiver, and man made it so that we can put megabytes and terabytes through it. And same thing with Bluetooth. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that I question, and let me know what you think in the comments. You can disagree with me, just do it, do it nicely. I don't want any drama on my channel. I'm not into all that. And for those of you that know me, I don't get into all that drama stuff. I just like some comments that are decent, and I just want to know your opinion. So let me know what you think. And so we have another fast moving V-shaped video. You might have seen this type of craft before. I personally have never seen it move that fast. It's a very short clip, and they go over it a few times because it goes by so fast. Maybe like one of our jets, but it doesn't look like a jet. Kind of looks like miniature Phoenix lights. So this one's from the United States. So let's have a look at that one. It's an interesting one. So that was a V-shaped craft, and you can see how they played it over and over again. I assume because of the speed. It was going very fast. Very fast. And I want to say it looked like either they were searching, like I do sometimes, because your camera can catch, as far as I know, compared to our human eyes, your Android or iPhone can capture 4 to 5 more spectrums. So even if you don't see anything in the sky during the day or at night, take a video of an empty sky and then bring it back in and take a look at it. You might surprise yourself and you might catch something. Especially if you have an IR feature on your phone, man, you're going to catch a lot of stuff. You'll be extremely surprised. Or even nightscape. A lot of Android phones have nightscape, so just throwing that out there. Just because you don't see anything doesn't mean you don't have to record for a few minutes, because you never know what you might catch. Because, like I said, we can only see so much with our human eye. And that's kind of how I got the name, the human spectrum. All right. So yeah, that thing was moving fast. So I don't know if they were looking for anything or, recording before it came through, but either way, they did a great job of capturing that and then repeating it so we can see it. Definitely V-shaped, look like a decent size. So now I saved a good one for last. So you're going to be looking at um, what look like, I'm going to call them UFOs, but they're still UAPs. Obviously, they need to change these acronyms because, you know, you've read and heard and watched the reasons why they did that. I'm going to call these UFOs, and these things are actually being chased by what appeared to me to be F22 Raptors. And you can hear some guys talking in the background like, what the? They were like very surprised. I mean, they're out there in the ocean having a good time, and all of a sudden they see these quiet things going by, kind of at a slow pace, just kind of like just checking out the scenery. And all of a sudden you're going to see these F-22 Raptors just coming up right on them. I mean, even passing them, making sure like to let them know like we're here and we're watching. So I saved the best for last. So let's take a look at it. You're gonna like this one.
What is this? Yo, it's like, what is that, bro?
So that was a very good one. So you can hear the guy saying, you might want to turn up the volume for this one, obviously, but play it back again if you have the chance. The guy's like, I've never seen anything like this, bro. I mean, he's like really in shock. And they go on to say a few other things, like they can't believe this is happening. So, can you imagine um, if this is truly a real video of two UAPs, UFOs going by, and then you can hear the Raptors, the engines coming up behind them, and then they get right up on them, and that's one of the best. If this is real, it's one of the best footages I've ever seen as far as um, the government or the Air Force or Navy chasing after one of the two of these things. And they both look exactly the same. So I didn't see any difference in the two UAPs, UFOs. If you saw any differences, let me know. I didn't catch it. But, and to me, they look like F-22 Raptors. If it was something different, let me know in the comments. To me, that's what they look like. I'm not very familiar with them, but I know a little bit about them. But yeah, so I wanted to save that last one for you because I just thought it was very compelling and exciting, and it was great to hear how the people that were recording it were excited about it. So it's not something you see every day when you go to the beach or to the ocean. So they seem to be legitimately surprised. So yeah, so I wanted to bring you these videos and emphasize on the fact that it's still, to me, I think it's the UAP issues on the increase. And compared to the last video I did, I was telling you that I noticed an increase in UAP activity, but now I'm going to the same forums, the same websites, the same social media areas, and I'm seeing more, at least 4 times to 5 times more than I did before. So I thought to myself, I got to bring this out and put it out on the human spectrum. So it's not to prove anything. I could be wrong, but just based on my research, and I'm pretty good at doing research, I'm seeing an uptick in people uploading, like the guy who was probably unsure if he wanted to upload it and finally uploaded it from July of 2023, that other video, and finally came out with it, and I'm glad he did. And so I'm going to do a little call to action again, like I always do. If you have copies, you can make copies of any videos or images of anything you may have caught, or anything anomalous, paranormal relating to UAP, anything of that nature, feel free to send me a copy of it. The only two things I ask for is your first name or handle and the area it happened in. The reason why I ask for that is because there might be a person that might have seen the same thing you were seeing in a location not too far from you, and sometimes you can get two videos of the same thing from different places and compare them, and that's always a good thing. I actually had that experience on Mr. MRB333's channel, where I caught something by the sun, and on the same day, 20 minutes later, a guy maybe, I think, 2 states away caught the same thing. So that's why I say it's important to tell me at least the location of where it happened, where you took the video. And obviously your handle or first name is all I need, because I don't need to know all of your information. Keep that private. So with that said, if you do have anything you can send in the description, I have 2 email addresses. Feel free to use either one of them. There's plenty of room for video attachments and obviously image attachments. If you have anything bigger, just let me know in an email and I'll send you a link to bring it to a Dropbox, or another a bigger space that I have for people who have videos that are longer than maybe 10 minutes. So with that said, that's all I have for today on Sunday. And I got so much stuff to sift over, so I might be back on tomorrow. And again, if you got anything, send them in to me so I can throw it up here, and we'll show it off here on the Human Spectrum. If it's your first time here, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I ask that you subscribe. And for those of you that have already subscribed, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. I do this because I enjoy it, and the subject that I'm on and this particular niche is just, to me, is like the most important thing out of everything in the world. So when it comes to this UAP stuff, paranormal, anything like that, obviously other than our important things in our lives, I'm saying in the political spectrum, this is one of life's biggest issues we need to pay attention to. So leave me some comments, let me know what you think, and I appreciate you guys watching. So that's all I have for today. So have a good night, good day wherever you are, and take care of yourselves.